So string methods, Python has a set of built-in methods that you can use on string. First one is strip. So the strip method removes any white spaces from the beginning or the end. So let's see how. You can see we have got this variable a is equal to hello world, but you can see that there is a leading space as well as trailing space. So leading or trailing space, not necessarily one, any number of spaces before or after will be removed using strip. So what basically happens when we are not actually entering the string from the keyboard, rather we are picking it up from the file, or we are merging strings, or we are producing strings through programming, not by having it as input from the keyboard, there is always possibility you would come across such that these strings may have leading or trailing spaces in it. So this strip function will remove it. Let's execute it. देखिए यहाँ पर आपके पास hello world आ रहा है, मैं इसको I am actually highlighting it. When I am highlighting, you can see that there is no leading or trailing space. So this strip will return hello world without any leading or trailing space. So this is called what? Strip function, strip method. Okay. Now, lower is like a lowercase. Okay, so whatever, if the input is uppercase or mixed case or whatever case, when you actually use the lower method, you can see a dot lower. Okay, all right. I hope that you notice that this is a dot strip. Now strip method is not being used as a separate method. Rather, if you would have noticed it, that we have got a is equal to hello world, and then what we are printing means output. We will discuss about print later. A dot strip. Okay, so strip method is part of a string itself. A is an object of string class. Okay, just mind this terminology. A is object of a string class. What is an object and what is a class, we will discuss later. Okay, so similarly we have this lower. So a is equal to hello world. You can see that this hello world is in mixed case. So if I make it a dot lower, remember lower is a function, a method, so that's why we have to actually have its own set of parentheses, and when it is converted to its lower form, then it will be printed. Let's execute it. See, H and W, those were earlier in uppercase, have become in lowercase. Then we have upper. So if I convert this lower into upper, आप notice करोगे कि this is now converted to uppercase. Okay, mind it. Now replace. Now this is something beautiful. You see, we wrote so many programs for string manipulation, and this used to be a larger program. Yesterday I reckon that Python is actually a short coding language, means that you might have written using larger programs. In Python, most of the times you will find it out that the same effect you can reap writing a little program. So replace is one of them. Secondly, when you were studying AS, actually it was the requirement of CIE to write a larger program rather to use languages built-in functions to do it shortly. Anyways, so replace. What replace does? The replace method replaces a string with another string. What does it mean? Let's say in hello world, I want to change H with J. All right. As it goes in Spanish, J would have same pronunciation as H. So what will happen? This H will be replaced with J in string A. So A dot replace H with J. So the first argument is H, means take H wherever you find H, replace it with second argument which is J. Let's see. Alright. So first it replaced it, then it printed it. See, you can see this is still hello world, but with not with J, oh, not with H, but J. So let's say if I want to convert this O with, let's say, P. So see, over here in hello and over here is replaced with P. So it might be a single character, it might be multiple characters, or subset of a string will be replaced by. So let's make it Zafar Ali Khan. So replace Ali with, pay attention to upper and lower case everything, with Ahmad. It is case sensitive. It was not replaced with Ahmad. Okay. So have you noticed it? If I go with capital A, only then it get replaced. So this is case sensitive. Sorry, it is not case insensitive, it is case sensitive. So, okay, so in this way, Ali was not found in lower case because it was in mixed case. And if I put it in exact case, all right. So if you want to make it more complicated, use lower, upper and all. That might be useful over here. Now, after replace, we have got split. What split does? Split breaks one string, and what it does, you see. Let's say split method splits string into substrings if it finds instances of a separator. Let's say I've got a string with commas in it. So I want to break that string over the comma, or I've got one string, I want to take words out of it. If you do remember, we did an example where we had one string that we want to break over spaces to fetch separate words and put them in different lines, if you do remember. So what we had to do, we had to actually search for a space, and after every space to extract character, put on the line and all. So let's see how that all happens when split. So split method splits the string into substrings if it finds the instance of the separator. Now let's say I want to make separator comma. So what it does is it splits on what? Comma. So it returns hello and world. You see, but the difference you should see that up till hello, it's a single word. This comma is not being taken into consideration. And then from this space right after the comma to the end of the string. So let's make it a different thing. Zafar Ali Khan, and I am putting comma over here before space and after here after space. Pay attention, okay? So Zafar Ali Khan with commas in it. Now you see Zafar has no space in it because before the comma there is no space. Ali has a leading space because after the comma and trailing space before the next comma. Okay, so you should pay attention to such. I told you that when we generate strings which are not directly input from the keyboard, there are chances that the extracted or made or generated string would have leading and trailing spaces. Okay, so now if we have one simple character, let's just remove this comma and rather use space as the split separator. See, now we can see so what's the output? Zafar Ali Khan. So it has split the string over spaces no matter how many words are there. Now pay attention to the output construct. You might see, and you are actually watching two different large brackets. All right, so get the idea of split. अच्छा अब हम देख रहे थे कि how it is actually being output. Whenever you see these large brackets around a set of data, that data might be integer, might be string, might be float or any number, you should understand that this is a list. A list is actually an array in Python. Yesterday I told you there are no arrays in Python, so this list serves the purpose. Or it is an alternative of arrays in Python. So what it does, it splits it up, but it creates an array or list of it. Okay, so today I'll actually show you how lists work, but you should understand when we split a string, the output is a string, but a set of a string in arrays or the list that we may access using their indices. Let's see how later. So mind it, note it somewhere that when we split a string, the output is actually a list of different words separated. Now, after a split, we have, let's call it check string. What is check string? We actually peruse through, read through the string to find the instances of substrings. We are searching one substring inside a bigger string. You get it? We are looking for a little string in a bigger string. So check, what is check string? To check if a certain phrase or character is present in a string. And we use two keywords, in and not in. Let me show you. Pay attention to the output type. Okay. See, I have made a string. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. X is equal to AIN in TXT. What does it mean? It says true. What does it mean? It means that we are actually having this variable X that is Boolean. In Python, Boolean is called bool, B-O-O-L. So the type of X is Boolean, and you can see the syntax in here. It means is AIN in TXT. So Python will put either true or false in X. So if we are looking for a string, remember in a string a locate function, that function or in a string in VB or pseudocode used to give us the position of it. So it is not giving us position, it is giving us Boolean, which is telling us whether this AIN is present or not. Okay, so in. Again, check string to check if a certain phrase or character is present in a string. We can use keywords in or not in. Okay, so I forgot not in. Not in mein you will be writing like something this not in. If you execute it now, the answer would be false because it is in. But if I'm looking for ABC not in TXT, then it would say true. ABC is not there in TXT string. Get the idea? So we don't have ABC in here. But if I like to check if the rain is in there, RAIN, if the rain is in there, it would say not with not in actually. It would say true. Okay, and now we can see that we have got in twice. So what if I just put in there? So you would say it would say true. So it really does not matter that the substring is present once or twice or thrice. It just tells you if it is in there or not. Okay. So check string. Concatenation. Concatenation, if you do remember, to concatenate or to combine two strings, you can use a plus operator in Python. If you do remember, it was an ampersand in Visual Basic, or in pseudocode it was a comma, sometimes plus sign, whatever. But in Python it is just plus sign. So let's see how it works. So if I like to merge, concat, or combine two different strings, I will use what? Plus sign. So let's merge two variables A and B into C. So you can see here A is hello, B is world, so C is A plus B. So means A plus B. Now you should pay attention to the fact that casting Casting or converting from one data type to another data type is taken for granted in Visual Basic or pseudocode, but over here it's not. We have to be careful about it. I'll show you, but let's first see the result of it. See, hello world without space. Why without space? Because hello does not have any trailing space, world does not have any leading space, so A plus B without space. So hello world, you can see over here. Okay, this is the result. Hello world. Okay. Now, if I put just one space after hello, we would have a space in the output over here, or before world. We would have one space over here. So it's up to you. How do you actually deal with it? This is all secondary in A2 level, but for AS it is necessary. Okay. Now, what if I like to, or let's do one thing, or you may have another example. Let's say I put one space myself there. This might be another way of having space in between. Okay. All right. So let's say B is not a string. B is rather 523, an integer. So if I run this now, I may have an error. Why error? You see, the error is type error. Can only concatenate a string, not integer to string. So we used to take it for granted. So since B is now integer, I would have to convert it with string concat method. So I will be converting this B to string and then I will be merging it with other strings. So remember, if you are trying to have values from different type of variables to be merged into a single string, you have to cast all different types of variables to a string first and then you will add it. I mean concat it. See, अब ये कोई issue नहीं होगा. So hello 523. Okay. See, results are the same. Once you convert it, any other number, whether it is float or real number or a string, integer, it will be converted to string first and then will be added. So casting has a special position in Python. Now, the string format. Okay, so we have to actually convert it. As we learned in Python variables, we cannot combine a string and numbers simply. Okay. So either you cast it or there is one more way. We call it a string format. So instead of casting, if I like to put let's use format. So format method can be used to convert automatically and put it in a string. Pay attention what is actually happening. This age is an integer variable and this txt is actually a string. Now this txt has these curly brackets. Now these curly brackets are placeholders. Placeholders. What are placeholders? Means these placeholders will actually be replaced with the variable. Now what does it mean? If we use text dot, text is this variable. Let's change the name of the variable, make it a. So this a is a variable string. So what I have done, a dot format age. What does it mean? This format will take this variable, cast it if it is necessary, and replace these curly bracket placeholder with this age. So whatever the argument that you will give to format method, format method will take it, analyze it. If it is of different type, convert it, cast it to a string, and then put it in the place where the curly brackets are actually shown in the string, not at the last, but at any location. So let's execute this. See, my name is John and I'm 36 without any trouble. See now. Okay, so this 36 is there. So placeholder is not necessarily at the end. It might be at the start, in the middle, or anywhere. See? So this placeholder, this is called format, a string format. We can use a string format as well. So this string format is good because we don't have to break the string and put a variable in between and then convert that variable, cast that variable, and put everything together with concat and all. So this is a good idea using it. What do we call it? A string format. So let's add 2, 3, 4 different strings. The format method takes unlimited number of arguments and are placed into the respective placeholders. So let's have some values. See, there is one variable, quantity. This variable is what? Integer. Item number, integer. Price, float. How do I know it is float? Because it has got decimal part in it. It's a real number. So my order, I want first placeholder, pieces of items, second placeholder, for third placeholder, dollars. So first placeholder will be replaced with quantity, which is 3. Second placeholder will be replaced with item number, which is 567. Third placeholder will be replaced by price variable, which is 49.95. In the same order, remember, in the same order. See, I want 3 pieces of items, 567 for $49.95. This is now a very powerful thing. Okay, so we got rid of concatenation, we got rid of casting, we got rid of having to think that how we will be arranging the whole string and all. All you have to do is to write the string and create placeholders in it, and then in the format method put the variables. These variables, whatever their values, whatever the type of these, will be casted, placed, replaced automatically by format function. Okay. Now, what if I like to change the order? So let's say these 3 variables are there. Let's number them. This is first, second, third. But as I told you that there is no first with 1. In Python, the first one is 0. So this is 0 variable, this is 1 variable, this is 2 variable. So let's make it 2, let's make it 0, let's make it 1. Get the idea? What will happen that this placeholder is now the placeholder for price. 0, 1, 2. This one is for quantity and this one is for item number. So you can easily do that. I want 49.95. What is 49.95? Price 0, 1, 2. Item 3. This is item 0, which is actually quantity, which is 3. So it got replaced. So get the idea. So placeholders can be used with indexes. It's not index, it's just the order. So you can do that. The most simple form is better, that we don't use any numbers with it, but sometimes if it is possible, we do that. Now, escape characters. Escape characters are actually extra characters that have a special effect over the string. Escape as in ESCAPE, the escape key and all. Escape characters. So to insert characters that are not possible in a string, let's call them illegal characters. So escape characters, to insert characters that are illegal in a string, we use what? Escape character. Escape character is always backslash followed by the character you want to insert. So escape is what? Backslash. An escape character is a backslash followed by the character you want to insert. Character, to insert characters that are illegal in a string, use an escape character. An escape character is a backslash followed by the character you want to insert. An example of an illegal character is a double quotation inside a string that is surrounded by double quotations. So what if in Visual Basic, if you do remember, we used to put double quotation twice. So let me put that first. See, this will be an error because system will take it as one string and this one is one string. Although what I wanted these Vikings in double quotation itself. So what I would do, just to make them available, I will use backslash. See, if I execute it now, print txt कर रहा है यार, हमने print डालेंगे तो करेगा ना, कर लिया, it is part of it. See, Shaykh. So it becomes part of it. Get the idea? So that that txt, we are so-called Vikings. So if we like to include these double quotations inside a string, we use escape characters. Let me put a few of the escape characters for you so that you have an idea that what escape characters we can. The codes हैं और ये इनके results, ठीक है बेटे? तो if you like to show single quote, हम लोग जो है backslash single quote, अगर हम खुद backslash दिखाना चाहते हैं तो backslash, अगर हम new line पे आना चाहते हैं, मतलब हम एक string के अंदर enter लगाना चाहते हैं तो हम backslash n करते हैं. फिर जैसा कि कल हमने डिस्कस किया था, carriage return होता है, वो हम शामिल कर सकते हैं. Carriage return is enter. Okay, So that new line is going to the new line, that is line feet. Okay, carry return is enter. Tab, backspace, और बाकी आप इसको छोड़ दें, ये फॉर्म फीड और ऑक्टल वैल्यूज हैं इस पे हम बाद में बात करेंगे, फिलहाल हम इनको देख लेते हैं, ठीक है. So I am sharing back pie chart. Let's say मैं इसको नई लाइन पे लेके आना चाहता हूँ, तो I will be like new line, और let's say मैं इसके आगे टैब लगाना चाहता हूँ, तो I'll be like \t. अब आप इसका रिजल्ट मुलाहिजा फरमाइए. See, this is tab. Tab is 4 spaces. We are 1, 2, 2 spaces here, not 4. 1, 2, yes, 2 spaces. And this \n, you see, there is one space after so-called, because there is a space here. After that, it went to the new line. Vikings from the north. Okay, so you can use it this way. You practice it yourself to find it out, how we can actually innovatively use it. This actually depends on the requirement. I showed you all the escape characters. Practice कीजिएगा. Now, I made one string. I love apples. Apple are my favorite fruit. So txt.count apple. So we have got apple here, 1, apple there, 2. Let's see what's the result. See, 2. So this count can be used to count. Let's say how many A's are there. Okay. So if you do remember, let's say I want to count the number of vowels A, E, I, O, U. So this is E, I, O, and U. A, E, I, O, U. And let's make it, remember format. See, so we have got one string text. I love apples and apples are my favorite fruit. I wanted to count that how many each of the vowels are present there. So A is text.count A, E, text.count E, and then I, then O, then U. Then I created one string Z, and then Z.format A, E, I, O, U. So A is replaced here in this placeholder, E, I, O, and U. So this is a shorter version of it. So this is it for strings.